Hi, Dagobert from Dagobert Stack World here for this weekend, the 25th and 26th of September 2021. Just like to talk to you about this weekend's fishing report. So, off the Gold Coast, we'll start offshore. It's a wipeout. Okay, so unfortunately, guys, it's going to be blowing, supposed to be 20 to 25 knots tomorrow. You might get it tomorrow morning early and fish the closed reefs on the 18s. Remember, it's low tide in the morning when you go out early, just on daylight. And the wind's expected to be up around 20 knots by sort of 8 o'clock. They are wrong sometimes, so it's up to you guys whether to take the risk, but just be careful, please. And but what's happening is the snapper have been really good in close 18s, 24s, and the 36 fathom reefs, northeast and east has been really good. Plenty of trag out there as well. Also back on the 18s, there's a few dewies being caught, and good size too. Out on the 50 fathom reefs, it's been really good for snapper as well. Quite a few customers did really well this week on really solid snapper, and they've got some a few kings and amberjacks as well, particularly east on about south 2800 or 2801 and about 153.46 on your east longitude mark. So give that a shot and see how you go. But otherwise, 20 knots tomorrow, then Sunday we've got 30 knots of southerly. So I'm sorry guys, it's time to go flathead fishing. Go flatties. Flathead class is coming up, okay? So that's a bit offshore, but when it comes good, I'd probably get 36s and snapper fish with baits early and maybe change to plastics pretty quick. Or go to 50s and chase some good snapper and kingies and stuff like that. On the sort of on the back of the beaches for the tail and stuff, if you're in the boat, keep fishing back in. Just a bit dangerous this weekend because the weather's a bit yucky, so give that a miss, guys. That's probably it for offshore at the moment. There's a few dolphin fish around too. Just so you know about dolphin fish too, guys, real quickly. They grow really quick. They grow from little babies to really big in about 18 months. So I'd possibly not target them at the moment because they're only small, okay? They might be just legal, but you're better off catch them when they're 4 to 10 kilos. So they will be that size in a couple of months' time. That's how quick they grow. So give them a bit of time to grow up and have a feed, and they'll hang around. Don't worry about that. They won't go anywhere, and they'll only stack up more and more as the water gets warmer and warmer offshore. So just give them a bit of a swerve for a couple of months if you can, and then go out and chase them around late November sort of thing. Other than that, that's about it for offshore. So back to inshore. Okay, up the jumping pin, Flathead Classic this weekend. Next week, sorry, starting on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's going to be packed. 150 to 175 boats fishing, so 500 guys nearly, so pretty full on. It's a great competition. If you're not in the competition, you maybe want to enter it. Jump on the Gold Coast Sportfish Club page and have a look, and you can jump on there. You can jump in our shop, and we've got a QR code you can scan. It'll take you straight to the signing up page. It's $100 a head. You can fish a 2 or 3 man team. Kids can fish, ladies can fish. They have all different categories. Mixed teams, juniors, adults, and junior team. Juniors have to be under 16 years of age at the time of the competition. So give that a thought. Plenty of floaties around up the jumping pin. I was up there on Monday. We did quite good. Got a few. Had a great session using a lot of different baits. Ones that we did really well on were these new Berkeley power bait shrimps, or prawns they call them. They are the gun, guys. Really, really good. I'm using a very small head there. It's only 1/8, okay? And I'm fishing at about 2 meters deep, casting up current, hopping it back. They work really, really well. They glide. They don't just fall. They glide, which is what you want a lure to do for flatties, I believe. So they work really well. Some of the colours that I had those in that also worked well was that colour there. I think it's called. I only had 2 colours. One was pink and this blue shine, I think it's called. That's a great colour too, in the Berkeley Power Shrimp. Other lures I did really well on, boom baits. I love boom baits. They're the same material, that product there, the same material as the your Z-Mans and whatever. Stretchy stuff, hard to break, catch a lot of fish on one lure. They work really well. I use them in the bigger size as well, the bigger boom bait. These are about, around sort of 4 or 5 inch long, 100 mil, 120 mil. They are really good. That colour's actually really good. It's like a bad shad type colour. They work really well. I'm using about a 1/2 ounce jig head on that one. I did really well on Vibes too the other day. I've been using these fellows, which are the Samakis, the Samaki Vibes Kick Butt Vibalicious. These are the 85ml size, they're 14 grams, so great weight, they cast a mile and they work really, really well. Okay, that colour there, the motor oil type colour is really good too. It's the UV colour, the fish see it differently, I also see it like a purple sort of colour, and it's extremely good. But floaties are definitely the go. The deep waters where they are, the big ones are turned up. There's a lot of 90 centimetre fish caught this week, a couple up on the flats, but predominantly along Kalinga Bank, stay out of the green zone, and also around in front of Swan Bay there at the end of North Stratty. And anywhere in the deep area there, just fish the deep, fish the bottom. The tides are fairly big at the moment, but they get really small next week, so drop your weight size right down as the tides slow down, and just fish the bottom, okay, and fish the edges on the high tide as it starts to go out. Up on the flats and around that sort of area, they've been netted pretty heavy, I heard. Like we caught a few fish the other day, had net marks on their backs, and they've been in nets, so they've either got out or been pulled out. But the little fellas like 40s and a bit under, so they're obviously netting up the flats, so it might not be the best fishing at the moment up in the shallows. So stick to the deep, that's where the big ones are anyhow at the moment, and give that a shot. Plenty of brimmer in the end of Crusoe Island in the northeast corner, and plenty of whiting on Gold Bank and at the back of Tuckamallet Channel on the right on the western end before it hooks around towards towards Cabbage Tree. So that back bank there is pretty good. Give that a go. Need yabbies or worms, okay? Tailor, got a heap of tailor on last Monday morning. We were flathead fishing, pulled us away from the flathead for about an hour. We caught like 30 tailor, all the metals, 14 grams through about 50 gram metal lures. There were sharks happening, they're biting our tail in half and biting the tails off, and we're getting our lures bitten off by the tail. It's just mayhem for an hour. Great fun though, and there's plenty of fish to chuck at the smoker and get them smoked up this weekend. We're having them. It'll be good. So plenty of tail around the jumping pin area. I dare say with Sundays subtly coming through. So tomorrow's like 20 to 25 knot northerlies. As I said, Sunday's like 30 knot southerlies. There'll be plenty of tail inside the pin bar in the calmer water, and throughout the pin area. A few crabs in the Pimpama River, and maybe in the Logan in the deeper areas of the middle of the river. Give that a shot. Okay, so down the Broadwater Way, a few flatties around the Aldershots, Brown's Bay, there's a couple of big fish caught there this week. And around the Seaway, the bigger fish have started as well. They're in the deep there as well, okay? So, as I said, the bigger fish are showing up in the deep as they do this time of the year. They do their thing, and little ones turn up with the big females and have a good time, and that's when you get them in that area. There's been plenty of whiting around the back of wave break. Good tides this weekend. I love this tide. So get low tide, get your yabbies really early in the morning. Fish that first the running tide. Work with the water up the bank as it comes up. We can wade the bank and walk the bank. I fish unweighted yabbies, and I'm walking back up the bank, keeping the same water temperature on my feet as I'm doing it, because they're moving with that cooler water into the warm water, and not so much the depth, but by the water temperature. So you move with the water temperature. It works really well. Anyway, give that a shot. Any of the banks around the Broadwater, same scenario. Anything at the pin. And a few whiting up the Narang River at night time around the council chambers. The tide's a bit skew with this week for them, but maybe worth a try next weekend when it comes good again. But there'll be a lot of people fishing the Flatty Classic next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, as I said, and there'll be a lot of boats in the Broadwater and up the jumping pin area during that time. Give it a shot. A few jacks around, just starting. The water's still a bit cool, but worth a go. And the unicorn barramundis out there as well. A few they'll be in the Narang and they'll be in the Coombe River. But you need that water just to warm up a bit more before they become a bit more sort of energetic, so to speak. That's probably about it in that scenario. There's been a few flatties around Crab Hole and that too. A few squid. I got a couple of squid again last Sunday. Not many of those. It was a bit quiet actually. But they're still around. They've been caught this week again around the front of the pool and the Southport Pier and at Bayview Harbour. Give that a shot. That's probably it for the Broadwater. On the beaches, very quiet because we got windy weather this weekend, guys. So I believe the tailor will definitely bite well on Sunday on the pier, on the sand pump and jetty. That might be worth a go. As far as I know, it's open 8am to 8pm and it's free. It's got Dodger sinkers and all the rigmarole that goes on up there with a big crowd, but the fishing is it's like a slaughterhouse. There's so many fish up there. When it comes on, they come on. Everyone just catches buckets. The tailor gets their bag limit. So make sure you do the right thing by size and whatever else. Release your fish nicely if you can, please, if they're not sized. That's probably it on the beach. Down south, I haven't heard much because we don't see the guys because of COVID, because they're locked down. So, but I would dare think the tailor would be on at Cabarita, a little bit further south, and definitely down the southern side of on the other side of the river at Ballina. There'll be tail on the beach there as well. Plenty of dart around and a few whiting in the rivers. It's probably better in the rivers. West side, in the Hinns Dam. I see Steve Barrett got some nice bass this week in the Hinns. So they're definitely schooling up again. And this time of the year, since it starts to warm up, they really start to come on. A bit of spring, you get a lot of insects in the air early morning, late afternoon, and they'll feed then as well on surface lures. And the togas should be starting to start bite as well. So give that a shot, guys. Until then, that's about it for this week. Just to let you know, we've got a heap of gear on sale in the flatty side of things. Because it's a flatter classic, so our lures, rods, a leader, braid, everything for the flatties is 30% off our pricing, and our reels are whatever you can find the best price online. We'll just match it if we got it in stock. Okay. So yeah, if you need to stock up, we've got heaps of flatty gear, heaps of lures coming in this last 2 weeks. And yeah, guys, good luck out there. Good luck to those fishing the competition. And if you're interested in maybe joining up and having a go at it, just jump online and have a look on the Gold Coast Sportfish Club page. Okay, thank you, and I'll catch you next week. Dougie Burt from Doug Burt's Tackle World at number 8 Centreview Drive on Bigger Waters behind Harbour Town. Thank you. Bye-bye.